catching the wind in my hand.
Hello again, sports fans. Welcome to Sports Chat this October 7th, 2025. A new month, a new beginning, but the same old hottest seat in sports, shining stars. The phone is already ringing off the hook.
Goodness golly. Yeah.
Operators are standing by to receive your call. 717-334-3000. Well, Robert, I'm sure he wants to discuss it. He picked the upset. Broncos over Eagles. Sure enough, 21-17. Broncos win. What a game. I mean, Eagles led 17-3. You just had the feeling that, like, Bo Nix, he wasn't out of it. I mean, the shortest autograph in NFL history, 5 letters.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. There must be somebody else.
Yeah. I think I heard that is one of the fewest. I mean, you can't get any.
Well, not a lot unless it was Bo or something like that.
Yes. So I guess we can start with the shining star with.
Yeah. You want me to do mine?
I'll let you take the reins.
Okay. I'm sure I'm leaving plenty of room because there's so much in college football, and I won't even take all the low-hanging fruit. I'm going to go locally from our game that we did, the Canners 35-0 over York Catholic. I asked Aiden Hoffman, I said, when's the last time you shut out York Catholic? He didn't know. Nobody seemed to know. But, I mean, York Catholic wasn't that bad, but it's kind of a dink and dunk offense, and the Canners contained it beautifully. A 35-0 shutout. Aiden Hoffman, our player of the game. So he's a shining star. And I'm also giving it to Brody Parr because he was hurt at the beginning of the year, and they asked Aiden Hoffman to be a quarterback. And now Parr, I thought he did a very solid job and freed Aiden Hoffman up to do the running back duties.
Over, 140 yards rushing?
Yeah,
I mean,
141 yards on 19 carries, something like that.
And just the way that they were able to execute on the turnovers from.
5 interceptions?
Yeah.
That might be a school record, too. I don't know.
There's a couple of them that were just, right before halftime, and they, just kind of chuck it to the end zone there, and just.
Yeah, the one guy, he had 9 receptions, but for 50 yards, it was maybe 45 yards or something like that. Well, they didn't have much of a running game, so I guess that was the equivalent of a running game. Get some 5-yard chunks, and but yeah, they turned it over. So then I also have rookie starting pitchers in the postseason. How many teams have we seen? Are guys making their debut in the playoffs and getting it done? So obviously these major league scouts know what they're doing, and they say this guy's ready for this big moment. And yeah, I guess the Yankees guy in the wild card round, he had several starts in the second half of the season.
Clay there. It starts with an S there. I always mispronounce the last name.
Schnittel or something like that.
Something in that neck of the woods
Schnitzel?
there. Yeah,
No,
he was performing great. My shining star is right in that neck of the woods there. Is Trey Yusavich. He made his major league debut in the playoffs in Game 2. Went 5 1/3, hitless ball against the Yankees. Now his pitch count was
Toronto,
only
right,
78,
okay.
And he was just sawing those bats there.
And,
11 strikeouts.
Those two guys, I know. I mean, the Brewers guy, he did a good job. I mean, he wasn't up all season. He was up most of the season, but still, he's a rookie.
Yeah, he came in the bullpen, because they had
Mizorowski,
Jacob Mizorowski there. Yeah, so he was just that frame thrower, coming out of the bullpen there, and he was performing great. We'll get to the Cubs and all the other games there in a bit
okay,
there.
so I'll save some of the obvious ones. Hottest seat in sports, NFL refs. I mean, some of the non-calls, and then they call grounding, and then they pick up the flag. They let Bo Nix talk them out of it. Talk about the Eagles game, and then of course Phillies, Cubs, Yankees, all in an 0-2 hole. Can any of them? I mean, it's but out of the last 18 teams that were in an 0-2 hole, only 16. Only 2 out of the group were able to pull it off.
Or even go to a game 5 for
Yeah,
that
right,
matter.
right.
I mean, it's going to be a tall task.
Right.
There,
You know, like Trey Turner says, well, you have nothing to lose. Yeah, that's true. Well,
you could lose the series. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So they made it close last night, but man, close doesn't cut it. So who do you got?
So
Hottest seat in sports?
my hot seat, I could route off a couple of them, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals running back, Amare DiMarcado, with a costly fumble. And we've been seeing this numerous times.
What's
This
his
is,
last name?
DiMarcado, DeMercado.
Okay. All right. So he's like high stepping and drops the ball. One of those
Yeah,
deals.
he kind of slows down once he gets to the 10-yard line as he's getting to the goal, and he's just almost to a stop, and then you have the other guy just bat it away. But it was just, why? He
Get in
actually
the end zone
dropped
and then
it.
do any kind of dance
It
you
wasn't
want.
a bat, but he just dropped it as he was
Yeah.
getting to the end zone
Well,
there.
I
So,
mean, can you call that taunting and nullify the touchdown?
or just,
Stupidity?
yes. At this time frame, this was in the fourth quarter, early stages of the fourth quarter. The Cardinals would have been up 28-6.
Was it a kick return or?
This was a rushing.
rushing
This would have been
touchdown,
a
okay.
72-yard rushing touchdown, but it ended up being 71 yards. But he drops the football.
Became a touchback.
A touchback for the Tennessee Titans. Titans goes down, scores a touchdown.
And they win the game.
They win the game 22-21. So it's just little things like that. And then, Tennessee had an interception, but then it was a fumble, and then it went into the end zone, and then they got a touchdown.
Yeah.
If you can follow that there. But it's just games like that. We've been, a Colts player have done it, and then last year there's a few, but it's just get to the end zone. Why are you dropping the football? So that's one of my hot seats.
That's about as hot as it can get.
Yes.
There's no excuse for something like that. No excuse.
And then I guess the other hot seat, Mark Sanchez, for that whole.
Well, the first thing you hear is that Mark Sanchez has been stabbed.
Yes.
You don't hear what led up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy who stabbed him I don't know if he's charged also.
69-year-old man, I'm hearing, but.
Well, Jack LaLanne was a pretty stacked 69-year-old man, so.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound good for first the butt fumble, now this. I mean, you gotta put him in there. All right, well, there's plenty, I'm gonna put myself there for picking the Eagles. I'm putting myself in the hot seat, because Robert outpicked me. Is he on the phone, or do we have a caller?
I think he is
Hey,
on
what
standby.
about, well, the obvious one we didn't mention.
We have our little call-in with,
Oh,
with
okay,
Brady
with
there.
Brady,
yeah.
we have a voicemail that we're gonna play back.
Yeah,
Should we
can
do that now, or?
We can get that since we're on the topic of the hot seat shining star.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Can we, guys in the booth, Jordan, Sean?
All right.
All right, we'll keep filling. You just bring it up whenever you get the chance.
Here we go.
And obviously James Franklin.
Good afternoon, Corey and Jeff. This is Brady here. I'm going to say my shining star and hot seat for the week. My shining star is Roki Sasaki of the Dodgers. I know Jeff won't like this one, but the rookie has closed out 2 huge wins for the Dodgers in one of the toughest environments in baseball, while also just coming back from injury. It just shows a lot of toughness from the rookie, which is awesome. And then my hot seat is going to be Penn State's head coach James Franklin. Coming off a tough loss to Oregon in the whiteout, they were huge favorites in a game against UCLA, one of the worst teams in the FBS. And they went to UCLA and absolutely laid an egg.
Laid an egg.
Yeah,
This says laid an
the
egg.
team just looked so unprepared and uninspired that it was very concerning. And now that'll probably cost them a playoff spot. So
All right, yeah. So I agree with that.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, I mean, hot
if they
seat,
beat
yeah.
Ohio State, and if they beat Indiana, and if they beat, who else would they have to beat?
Iowa, Northwestern,
Iowa,
Michigan
yeah,
State.
I
and,
mean,
yeah.
So they don't play Michigan this year,
No.
correct? So, I mean, how many two-loss teams were in the playoff last year?
Well, you kind of have to look at,
Who
case
they
by
lost
case.
to? And
Well, you look
losing
at
0-4 UCLA, but their quarterback's a big name. He
yeah,
was like
Nico
at
there.
Tennessee. and-
Yeah, you look at them being 23-point favorites, and you're going to UCLA. This is a team that never had a lead in their 4 games and never was even close to winning a
Making up
game.
a perfect storm.
And it's just one of those where I don't know whether if they go 10-2, if they can still make the playoffs, because you have the likes of the other teams in the SEC. Even beating Ohio State and Indiana, then you have to make sure Indiana beats Oregon, because Indiana will be undefeated when they play. So there's a lots of ifs, but at the end of the day is, can they even pull that off of winning the next 7 games? And I don't.
I mean, there's a book waiting to be written about this whole NIL and paying the players, and who knows what happened in the locker room. But yeah, there's no excuse to, as Brady said, lay an egg out there on the West Coast. They're going there grossly overconfident. I didn't see any of the game.
Just the play calling was just head scratching, especially at the ending of the first half, as you have 3 timeouts and you're running the football, and you're playing this cat mouse game of not letting UCLA have the football. But they did get the football because it was 4th and 2, and Eller gets sacked, and before you know it, then you're down by 20 at halftime. So it's just little things like that there, especially at the end of the game. When UCLA has the football, it's 4th down. They're going to run out of the end zone to get a safety. And the players were surprised that this was even happening, and that chewed off more time. And, for
So the
this to
guy
happen,
just waited before going
just kind of running like 20 yards
back through the
backwards.
back
Yeah.
of the end zone.
Yep. So it's just little things like that.
Well,
And
that's always been the pet peeve about Franklin, clock management. It's not the first time we're hearing that.
no, I don't think it will be the last time there. But, his buyout is $50 million, and I don't see them, just, firing
That's
him
a lot
right
of
now.
dough.
That's,
I mean,
yeah.
how much do they have to pay for Sandusky? Where does all this money come from? Tax dollars or donors or alumni?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's a lot of dough, I think, even in this day and age.
I think I think Robert's ready to come on,
Robert,
yeah.
hey, Salam, I applaud you, I salute you. I wish you would have picked the Eagles, they would have won.
Hello, Mr. Cook.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry
No, you're not.
for big losing.
You're not sorry, or with your powers to inspire upsets, if you had picked the Eagles, they would have won.
I think he said Penn State at the first.
Oh,
They lost too.
Or
you're sorry about Penn State losing?
But I said that they would lose too.
You did, my God.
I,
You did. You see it over PSU. We thought you were out of your mind.
yeah,
Oh, my, Robert, what a week.
this goes back a couple years
Let's
ago.
get one of
when-
those Burger King crowns. We'll mail it to him.
Yeah, this kind of goes back a couple weeks ago when he picked, I think, the Lions or something, when the Lions weren't the Lions, and they pulled off a crazy upset there. So that's kind
Oh,
of
Robert.
shades of perfecto.
Commanders over Chargers. You picked that, too.
Look at
I don't
that.
think that's a huge upset.
No,
But, Robert, you are. Did you gamble last week?
I should have.
Oh, well.
yeah,
Can you retire on your winnings?
maybe
No,
get
she did.
Okay.
Might get some
So
free
Williams
gas.
Grove is shut down for the season?
Yes, they are.
So who do the Broncos have a bye?
No, they get Jets this week.
Jets still
Sunday
looking for
morning.
just looking for their first win. 9:30 on the NFL channel. From where is that game being played? Twickenham in England?
I think that's just London. Yeah, I think that, yeah.
London town?
London is calling. And
Well,
it's,
thanks to Brady Dedenburn for leaving us a voicemail. Appreciate it, Brady. And Robert, what else is on your mind?
So I like to know what's his name? Think about what I picked last week for his team this week. Tomorrow. I like to know what he meant with it.
Oh, Carl was great, because we were talking, how many weeks ago was that? Yeah, we had a great conversation. Well, you were away, Corey, I think you were away.
what day was that? That was,
Let's see, that's,
yeah, I think it was a Tuesday.
yeah,
A few weeks ago, I called in
I'll
there,
find
yeah.
it. Okay.
I think I was covering the meeting in Carroll, I think at that time frame.
9/9. Oh, yeah. Here it is. I took copious
Yes.
notes.
So what's the odds of Penn State winning again? Winning again?
What about Penn State?
So what's their odds of losing again?
Well, I said last week, I don't see them losing to UCLA. They got Northwestern. I think this is a get-right game because I don't see them falling to Northwestern, which, I mean, it could, but I see them taking care of business, whatever that means, against the Wildcats because, you know, they have to run the table now. And like I was just saying a few minutes ago, I don't see them winning the next 7 in a row, but
No.
you know, see what happens. But you know, them against Northwestern, I like their chances against them beating Northwestern. So I'm trying to.
So, Ohio State's still number one?
Mhm.
Oregon 2?
Oregon is, I think, 3. You got Miami 2,
Huh.
and Ohio State will be going to Champaign against number 17 Illinois. And that's a 12 o'clock game. So that's a good litmus test there for Illinois. That is, you know,
Yeah,
kind of-
well, they didn't measure up against Indiana.
No.
Who's Indiana have this week?
Let me get to that game. Indiana is that's the Oregon Indiana game. That's the 3:30 game, and that's going to be a very tall task of who is. I think the winner of that game is going to represent the Big Ten in the title game.
I think you said that, you predicted
Mhm.
that. And it was, September 9th, when I had Rick Goslin on the phone, we had a nice conversation about the greatest team nobody remembers, and, the revenge tour, talking about the Chiefs of the late 60s. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give you a top 5. What is the championship of this group?
Alrighty.
Top 5 for the whole year?
For the whole year.
All right, this is good to know. All right. All right, go.
5
Okay.
is your own very own Danny Dietrich.
Danny Dietrich, Gettysburg Zone. Okay. 5th place.
And number 4,
Brock.
He only goes by one name, like Cher or Liberace. What?
Prince.
Prince? Brock? That's it? Okay. 3?
Lance Louise.
He's got more conventional. 2 names. 2nd place.
Freddie Kramer. Number 2.
Fast Freddie Raymer?
Yeah, number 2.
Okay. And number 1, drum roll.
Troy Walkerman.
Troy Wagaman?
Yeah, number 1.
Has he won before?
No, this is his first winner.
All right. right.
All right.
But how about those other guys, DeWeese and Dietrich, have they won before, Raymer? Well, that's great. Congratulations to Troy Wagaman. Any other juicy tidbits to share?
Yeah, I do. I want to share some more things with you.
Please do.
I see in my crystal ball.
You have a crystal ball?
Eagles will win this week.
What?
Eagles will win.
The Eagles will win this week. Who do they have?
The Giants.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
That's a
boy.
Thursday night football game there.
That's
too.
right. Quick turnaround. Ooh, how do I watch that game? What do I have to have?
Amazon Prime, or you
That's
can
it?
just listen to the game on the radio station.
I know I can do that, but
But
that's-
yeah, Amazon Prime is.
I know
where it's
Merle
connected
Reese
there, yeah,
and
yeah.
Mike Quick. It's pretty good, pretty cool, but it's not like singing it for yourself. You could just turn the sound off and pretend you're at the game. Although I hope nobody ever does that for our games.
No.
And we are going to be Littlestown, Delone at Littlestown. Could be a close game. We haven't had a ton of those this season.
It's been a while. It's usually been one-sided affair there.
Not that we mind the mercy rule.
Mercy,
Especially
35.
if there's a deadline at the other end for me writing for the paper. So, yeah, it's been a smooth season. I did have a guy said that there were some issues with the video, and I don't know if it was on cable or maybe at the website. I don't know. We don't monitor every different input you can watch the game on. It's cable TV, our website, Facebook, YouTube, and Amazon Fire TV, and Roku back
Yeah, Roku,
again.
yes.
All in HD, those private platforms, all in HD, so. Yes, sir.
Can I put somebody in the hot seat?
Sure.
Go ahead.
It's going to be the head coach of the Penn State.
James Franklin?
Yeah, he's going to be in a hot seat now.
Yeah, oh, no doubt about it. He should feel right at home. We helped him turn it, I think, the last time he was in the hot seat, they were 2-2. And now they're 3-2.
3-2, yes.
Equally hot, but like you said before coming on the show, to fire him, it costs $50 million. 50, yes.
I'm going to say it's going to be 40-30.
Penn State wins.
Northwestern.
Northwestern's going to beat Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're like a voodoo.
Here first, man.
You're a shaman, a voodoo master.
Ooh.
Northwestern over Penn State. Wow.
Well,
Any other bad news?
Next week,
okay.
Are the Giants going?
Colonel football in there and see what he thinks.
Are the Giants going to beat the Eagles on Thursday night?
No, he's doing a little good.
Oh, thank you, a wise one. Okay. Everybody hear that? You can take that to the bank.
And bank it.
What's the spread? I mean, the Eagles are probably 7-point favorites, even though they're coming off a loss.
I think I saw 7.5. Let
Okay.
me see here.
And what's the biggest spread you get in the pros? 14?
Well, I saw one that was 14.5, 15.5. That was when the Bills were playing the Saints. But looking at it, 6.5.
Yeah,
The Eagles
okay.
are favored by. So I guess spinning back over to the baseball there. Of the series that are 0-2, which one do you see
I
getting
was going to ask you that
swept?
same
Yeah.
question.
So I kind of reversed it back to swept.
No,
again.
yeah. Well, all right. So the difference here is that the Phillies were at home. Now they got to go to L.A., so that's a tough road. Whereas the Cubs and the Yankees are both coming home. Tonight, we'll find out if the Yankees are still alive. What's the pitching matchup for that
Pitching
game?
matchup for that is Rodon and let me s-
Rodon, I didn't
and,
realize he,
Rodon and Shane Bieber is the matchup for
who,
that.
wait,
there.
was hurt until we're down the stretch, he started pitching again.
Yeah, so he was on the injured list for the Tommy John surgery there, and he got traded from Cleveland to Toronto. He had a couple outings there, but yeah, he is, the game 3 starter there for the Jays there, and he's got playoff experience.
Sure.
He's got it against the Yankees there, so this.
I didn't realize like Rodon won 18 and Fried 19 during the regular season. That's a lot of. I don't think any other tandem in Major League Baseball racked up that kind of win total.
No, that was the top right there. But looking at the Yankees, I mean, for them to get it back to Game 5, they have to piece together their bullpen. Their bullpen has just been just a nightmare.
Yeah.
With the matchups and all that there, that hasn't been working. So if they can get some leverage with the bats and having a lead there,
Yeah.
because that's what's been kind of holding them back a little bit there.
Well, Aaron Judge, his playoff record is not great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a guy that carries a team all year and then fizzles in the playoffs. Right now, you'd say the same thing about Kyle Schwarber, who hasn't gotten a hit yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting to see if the Yankees can stay alive.
I would probably go with the of the 3 teams that could come back. I would say maybe the Cubs, but that's very.
They have pitching depth.
Their starting pitching has
They're-
been, the
Yeah.
problem right now. Matthew Boyd couldn't get out of the first inning. He went 2 1/3.
Is that the opening game?
The opening game on Saturday there, and
9-3 or something.
9-3. You get that leadoff home run, and it looks like, hey, we're looking good, and you squander that away. Last night you get a 3-run home run by Seiya Suzuki, and it looks like, hey, now we're up 3-0, and then that lead goes away, and then it's 3-3, and then before you know it, 7-3, and then you lose that game there. So I think that's going to be a tough road there, but if they can get some of the hitting and get the home cooking, see what happens in Game 5 there. But and then we got the game that's delayed right now. You got Seattle and the Tigers, and just the way that Julio Polanco 1-1 right now, and that was like a must-win game there for Seattle because you're going up against the Cy Young pitcher in the American League with Schoolboy. You had to get that win, and then having Julio Polanco have 2 home runs to help the Mariners get that win was crucial.
Raleigh hasn't done much in that series so far, has he?
What?
Cal Raleigh?
No, yeah,
You have all these
he's
big
batting, but he's not
Ohtani's
getting.
probably come up best of the big 4, if you will, the 4
Yeah, I would agree with
MVP
that. There.
candidates. They're all still alive for now, but who knows? Right now, Schwarber looks like the best bet to wrap up his season. Could happen tomorrow.
Do you think that, what should they do with the lineup? Because I mean, when you have Harrison Bader that's dealing with an injury
Well,
there.
hopefully the day off will be all he needs, and he'll be back out there. Who's pitching tomorrow? Yamamoto, I think.
Yeah, I think
he's a
it's-
righty, isn't he?
Yeah, the matchup tomorrow is
Well, so
Nola, versus Yamamoto.
so that means that they will have Max Kepler in right field. Castellanos won't play because they're platooning them right now. And
Yeah, the matchup.
you
base.
saw last night what an adventure it was running the bases. That wasn't a bad bunt. Great execution by the Dodgers, but it almost seemed like, I guess if you're on second, you don't want the batter to miss the ball altogether and get thrown out at third. So you're really kind of hung up in no man's land. But I guess it just showed how slow he is. So
Well, then you kind of go back to the 6th inning where that play at third base that ended that inning, and it looked like they were going to load up the bases there, and how they were able to get the run or the runner out at second. I think it was who was it? Was it who was out at third? But it was one of those bang bang plays there, and that could have set up the top of the order there for the Phillies there, and then you just kind of squander that chance.
bad base running. Marsh got thrown out. He got picked off.
And then in the top of the 7th, that's when Dodgers scored the 4 runs, and it looked like the game was out of reach there. But
Right.
I look at that as it's going to be tough for the Phillies to win those two games, especially in LA there. But if they can make it to a game 5, anything could happen there. But it's just a matter of, just winning that game in
That's
game
like
3
when they
there.
were up 3-2 2 years ago, and the Diamondbacks came back to Philly and won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yep. So,
All right, Robert, are you still with us?
no,
No, he took off, okay. Hopefully he'll be playing trivia, we can figure out what his persona of the week is.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you catch that game last night with the Broncos, or not the Broncos,
Chiefs
the
and
Jaguars
Jags.
and
I'll tell you, I was so depressed after the Phillies game, I turned the TV off, and I didn't watch any of who was on, the Brewers and Cubs,
Brewers and Cubs there? Yes.
and I didn't watch any of that, I didn't watch any of the Jaguars and Chiefs. I heard a little bit about it. Why don't you fill me in?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those back and forth type of games there. The Jaguars probably could have got some points at the end of the half, just, bad clock management there. Not like we ever said that before with the coaching and all that there. But, they got a 99-yard interception return from the Chiefs, got a touchdown with that there. But, how the game was going, you have the ball at the 1-yard line with 30 seconds. The Jaguars have no timeouts. And you're thinking, all right, just run the football. Trevor Lawrence gets the football, but he falls. He gets tripped by the guard that steps on his foot. He falls down, gets back up, falls down again, and then scampers into the end zone and scores a touchdown with 20 seconds left in the game. I mean, it was just
Where was the defense while he's falling on the ground?
going towards him. But he got up right before he got touched, so he wasn't down.
He scampered into the end zone.
So it was a
Well, I
good,
heard something that Chris Jones gave up on the play. It could just be idle internet talk, I don't know.
yeah, I didn't really, see him like
It's
giving
not
up
like
on that.
college, you have to be
angle
touched
there,
when you're on the
but-
ground, or high school, like in high school or college, the play's over, they win the game, right?
So, I mean,
Pros.
looking at that, now the Jaguars are 4-1 with the Colts. The Colts were idle this week there, or,
The Colts beat
the Colts,
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, that's what I meant to say there. I was looking at
Taylor's
the
back.
other team there,
That's-
so.
Yeah, the Colts, I mean, and Daniel Jones resurrecting his career.
So you look at, some of these teams here, I'm not hitting,
Anybody undefeated
everyone's
has at least one loss.
one loss, so the 72 Dolphins can pop the champagne there because.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
And the Bucks only have one loss, correct?
Yeah, there's a couple teams there that have the one loss there, but you look at. I'm not hitting the panic button with the Chiefs, but right now
What
they're
are they? 2 and
they're
3?
2-3.
Yeah.
Now the teams above them, they're 3-2. That's the Chargers and the Broncos. But the reason why I'm kind of leery right now is they're playing the Lions next week, and that is an Arrowhead. But if the Lions can pull off that upset win, that's a telltale card right there, because that will put the Chiefs at 2-4. And even with the other teams out there, I don't see them having the number 1 seed in the AFC, not like years past there. So I look at this as a must-win in that standards for that there. So
There's still 12 games left, so.
it's just a matter of reaching other teams there. They still have the Bills out there.
Played the Broncos yet?
They played the Broncos in a couple weeks here, so
Okay, they play them twice, correct? So that's
Yes,
gonna be 2
so
tough games.
the
And
next,
Chargers are tough. What are they, 3-2 also?
yeah, they're 3-2. They
Commanders are 3-2.
they played the Broncos November 26th and on Christmas Day, so that's when they'll play the Broncos. But I look at
That should be a
this,
good game.
for the Chiefs. I don't see them, missing the playoffs or anything like that there, but they're in a very tough division with the Broncos and the Chargers. They're not going away, so you kind of look at other avenues. I look at the AFC very tough. So, like the Ravens, for instance, they're 1-4. I think they're in a better position than other teams, because you look at Pittsburgh. I'm not a believer in Pittsburgh, even with them being 3-1.
What about the Patriots?
Yeah, they pull off a great win against the Bills. The way that Drake May is coming over throughout the season, he is looking promising. And I'm not saying the Patriots are going to win that division. I still think the Bills,
It's
take
kind of
control of that.
The Eagles and the Bills kind of both had some humble pie on the same day, so.
So I look at, if the Ravens weren't in a very mediocre-esque division there in the AFC North, I don't see them making the playoffs there. But they could win that division like winning 9 games. I don't see anybody in that division having 10 wins. So you kind of look at that. And I'm not sure you heard that trade today that Joe Flacco is now part of the Bengals. So
Guess they don't like Browning that much.
they need to
Flacco
change
might
it.
give him a better chance to win.
Yeah, I looked at the
So
way that
Shador is now the backup.
he's number 2 now. So he went from being number 4 to 3 to now number 2. So he's just a play away from, getting into the game there. But, you look at the Bengals and just the way that they've been playing. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They got the Packers this week there, and they've been starting slow, and they need to, change it this year. They went 2-0, but without Burrow, I don't look at this team. They need a new quarterback at helm, and the quarterbacks that were there, I didn't trust. So getting Flacco, maybe that will help, but their offensive line is very bad. So I don't know where that's going to go.
Mobility is not his strong point.
So you look at the Browns, they're with
Great defense, they have a great game in Europe. They lost to the Vikings and Carson Wentz.
yeah, it looked like they were going to come back and win
Last
that game
minute.
there.
Yeah.
So you look at them as 1-4. The Ravens are 1-4. I said about the Bengals with their quarterback issues there, and you got Pittsburgh just hanging out at 3-1, coming off the bye. So, could they run away with the division? I don't think so, but hey, it's up for the taking. And if you look at it, they are the only division that has all 4 teams with a negative point differential. So that's uncharacteristic there. But, if you look at the NFC North, you got all the division leaders 4-1. The Eagles 4-1. They beat, the Bucks, and they,
The Lions are 4-1.
yeah, the Lions are 4-1. You got the Packers. They have 1 loss, but they're 2-1-1. So,
Tie with Dallas. That was weird.
yes.
I'm glad I didn't stay up to watch that.
So, what teams have surprised you? I guess you could say New England, for being the Bills, or
Yeah. Well, I didn't know too much about the Broncos. I know they made the playoffs and they were, one and done last year. So they obviously, Sutton impressed me. Dobbins impressed me. I was happy to see him back healthy again. He was a real pain with 79 yards, but he moved the chains a bunch of times. The Eagles the defense couldn't get it. I know the Broncos punted 6 times in a row, but when the game was on the line, they got the job done. So, very impressive. And you knew, like Sean Payton, everybody says, oh, he's a Hall of Fame coach. I think he is, especially if he has the kind of sustained success with Denver that he had in New Orleans. It's taken him, was last year his first year back?
this is his third season.
Third
I
year
believe, there,
back.
yes.
And now it's all coming together, his way of doing things, and none of this private game room with Russell Wilson and all that sort of thing. Winning is the best potion. That takes care of a lot of things if you win.
I would say my disappointment right now after 5 games, or for the most part, everyone has played 5 games, I would go with the Ravens, even with their injuries.
And the Dolphins are a disappointment too, but yeah, you're right. The Ravens to be 1-4.
They were one of the teams that to win the AFC. So for them to be 1-4 and just look awful in the last 2 games. I know Cooper Rush was at the helm there.
Is that where he was?
Yeah, he was starting.
Wasn't
quarterback.
bailing with the leak in the boat?
Yeah, so he was.
I didn't watch any of that game, but
It was
never impressed
one-sided
me
all
when
the
he
way
was with
through.
Dallas.
So, yeah, and then a surprising team, I would probably.
I'd say Jacksonville. When you
Yeah.
said they're 4-1?
Yeah, they're 4-1.
Well, that was, if you had told me that they'd be 4-1, I don't know who they play, but they just beat the Chiefs, so there you go.
I would say in that same division, I'll go with the Colts. Because you didn't know
Yeah.
what to
Oh,
expect
yeah,
with Daniel
exactly.
Jones,
Daniel Jones did not look good with the Giants.
and with them being 3-0 at home.
Jonathan Taylor's a force again, so maybe these guys play when they're not 100% healthy. When they're 100% healthy, it makes a difference.
So yeah, I'll go with that there, and I guess changing gears to the college football aspect there. We have mentioned some of the big games there this weekend with Oregon, and Indiana, and that's
In Oregon,
that is in Oregon there.
so what, 4 o'clock start or something?
3:30, so 12:30 kick
Okay.
at their time there. So that's going to be a big game there. Of like I said, whoever wins, I see them making the Big Ten title game because either of these teams, they don't play Ohio State, so you don't have that in that dilemma like, oh, that team beat that team, but that team beat that team. So you don't have that there. So
Well, they have to have tiebreakers for the league title, but yeah.
sometimes it plays itself out there. But another matchup that I'm looking at is Alabama and Missouri. Missouri is 5-0, and it's the
Oh,
quarterback.
Pribula.
I was just going to say there. So maybe Penn State has the wrong quarterback there instead of
I
Aller.
saw
They should
some of
have
that.
Bell.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a huge game there for Missouri if they can beat Alabama. That'll put them probably in the top 10 in the rankings there. But
Well, who else beat Alabama? Who'd they lose to?
they lost to Florida State there. That was week 1 there, and
All right.
ever since then they've been projecting upwards there. Another matchup, you got number 6 Oklahoma going up against Texas. Texas was AP number 1 ranked team in the nation. Now they're unranked after
Along
losing
with Penn
to the
State,
Gators there.
Arch
So
Manning has no shot at the Heisman.
that's breaking news there. Yes.
Yeah, if I was like after week 1, it was done.
Yeah, and then I guess the other matchup that I'm looking at is Michigan versus USC. You look at Michigan being 4-1, their only losses against Oklahoma. They're 2-0 in the Big Ten. If they can pull off a win in the West Coast there, that will put them right up there. They're almost like the sleeping monster right now in the Big Ten. But see what happens
Michigan.
there.
Are they all done with serving coaching suspensions?
Yeah, he finished that a couple weeks ago there. So, see how that goes. But, yeah.
All right, sir. Well, anything else to cover on your agenda?
Let me see here. I'll scroll.
Overt or hidden or otherwise?
Well, we don't have to worry about the ET because that is that's in
Nobody's
the
been
past.
thrown
That's
out of the
history
playoffs
now,
so
yeah.
far. Is there anyone
No,
that
I
has
don't
been?
think there's the Padres came close there. They were
Oh, yeah.
doing the
called.
line a little
Oh,
bit
my.
there, but no one got a check.
Well, the game was over, didn't it? Or it wasn't over, but it was.
They were
near
barking a
the
little
end.
bit in the 9th inning there.
Yeah,
but-
because the guy got called out on strikes, and it was under the new system, it would have been a ball.
Yeah, that ABS there. So some people are basking for glory when that comes next year. But we have some.
I want to, before we sign off, I want to recognize our current banner sponsors. They include Adams County Community Foundation, the Adams County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, Destination Gettysburg, Classic Antique Innovations, and UPMC Life Changing Medicine. Thank you, one and all. If you want to be a banner, give us a call, a banner sponsor, give us a call, 717-334-3000, or check the website, communitymedia.net. Corey, great show as usual. I guess all Robert said was Eagles over Giants, Northwestern over Penn State. So he's on a roll.
I think so.
Three for three last week. Uncanny. Broncos to beat the Eagles, UCLA over Penn State, both of which were predicted to go the other way. Obviously, the Broncos are a lot less of an underdog in the NFL than UCLA is going in at 0-4. All right, well, thank you so much to Sean and Garrett, our tech guys, working behind the scenes, slaving away. We appreciate all you do for community media. Corey Smith, likewise. I'll see you Friday. Well, you'll be here for trivia, but I'll see you Friday night at Littlestown. That's a rivalry game. DeLone Catholic at Littlestown. We know DeLone's going to be in the district championship against York Catholic. We've now seen both
Both,
teams.
yeah.
I'd say DeLone's the favorite.
I
But-
would say so there,
But,
yes.
I mean, York Catholic could do a few things. It was credit to Biglerville defense. But yeah, we'll be there, Littlestown, DeLone Catholic, Friday night, starts around 6:45. We appreciate our sponsors as well. So again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned for trivia in just 15 minutes. See you then, everybody. Good night. Mahalo.
Guess this was what, show 904 or 905? The race goes on.
Good.
Find that, how many, I can know how many Leave It to Beaver episodes there were, because there were 39 each year times 6, so that's just mash. And some are in here.
I'm going to stay summer fire.